potential hostage sent into the bank with an explosive around their neck. Something like this had never happened before in the history of the FBI.
For being a small town, Erie has its share of bizarre events, but there is nothing that raised so many questions as this case.
This made worldwide news.
The purpose of the pizza bomber plot? Money.
What is up, spooky people? Welcome to another episode of Oddity Acres. Today we find ourselves in Erie, Pennsylvania, on Peach Street to be exact. One of the most infamous, crazy crimes in FBI history took place in this city. And I'm about to bring you to all the locations that happened, so stay tuned. Where I am standing right now is where everything took place. At 5154 Peach Street on August 28th, 2003, a phone call came in around 1:47 p.m. to Mr. Brian Wells. Now, Brian Wells worked at Mamma Mia Pizza, which is right here, where it used to be right here. Brian had worked at this pizza shop for 10 years. He answered the phone call, and he was sent out to deliver some pizzas to some people. And that's where it all started. Check this place out. This is where true crime happened. This was it. This was the old Mamma Mia's Pizza at 5154 Peach Street in Erie, Pennsylvania. No longer is it anything. It looks like it's being redone. But this is where the pizza shop was. This is where Brian Wells worked, and this is where he took the phone call that started all those events on that crazy, crazy afternoon. Now, when Brian took that call, he was called to deliver 2 sausage pizzas to a random address actually down here on Peach Street. And that's where we're going to be going next. And little did he know, in the following minutes, he'd be walking into a PNC bank with a bomb collar put around his neck. We're bringing you there. Now, Brian was a 46-year-old man with no previous criminal history. He's worked at that pizza shop for, as I said, about 10 years. And he was what most people would call a loner. Not a lot of friends. He lived alone. He had some cats. And that's kind of what brought him into being a target for this crime. Brian left that pizza place as it was the end of his shift with the 2 pizzas that he was delivering and headed south on Peach Street, the same direction we're heading right now, to what he found was an old service road and a TV tower antenna. That's where the bomb was placed, and that's where this whole chain of events started. So right behind me is the service road where Brian Wells was called to deliver the pizzas. Now, in his initial story, he said that he was jumped by 3 black men right down here on the service road, and that's who placed the bomb collar on him. We know now, after further investigation, that that was not the case. But this is the road. It's right off of Peach Street. It's just south from where he worked. So if you were to follow this road in the summertime, it'd be a dirt road. And right back here by the TV antenna, that's the location of the crime. That's where this all started. As I said, we're about 10 minutes down the road from the pizza shop. We're still on Peach Street, but it starts to get a little bit more rural here as opposed to like the highway area. But this is the road he would have drove down right here. This is what you see on the Netflix documentary. On August 28th, 2003, this was the PNC bank that Brian Wells robbed. He had a collar on his neck with 2 pipe bombs and a cane that was actually converted into a shotgun. Now, right now, it's an urgent care. Things have changed a lot, as do a lot of times. We end up at locations like this, and things change, things move, things get remodeled. But you can actually tell, you look at the little gables on this building, and you look at the original picture, I'll show it to you right here, of the original bank. It looks the same. It looks very, very similar. And the McDonald's that he ended up with was right there. So we're not too far. This is where everything went down. And in fact, that famous photo you see with him sitting in the parking lot is Eyeglass World, and it's actually right there. So we're going to be hitting those locations as well, but this is a pivotal point in the day. This is where the bank robbery took place. This is where he walked inside. He handed various notes to the counter there and basically said, gather the people that have the keys to the safe. I need $250,000. Brian didn't leave that bank with more than $8,000. So, you know, that plan was foiled, and as was the rest of the day, because things did not go to plan. But how crazy is this? This is the PNC Bank. This is where it really happened. Now, the instructions that Brian were given when the bomb collar was placed on his neck was that he needed to come to the McDonald's after he robbed that bank to find his next clue taped under a rock in the front. This is the McDonald's that's right next door to the PNC Bank. You can actually see it behind me. That was the bank. This is the McDonald's. This is what you see in a lot of the news footage. And right next door is where that famous photo was taken, where he was sitting in the parking lot. That's where Brian unfortunately met his demise. But this is the McDonald's. Right here. This is where the famous picture was taken outside Eyeglass World. This is where Brian Wells was sitting on the ground in front of the police car when the bomb collar exploded. This is where police intercepted him after McDonald's and after robbing the bank. This is where all the conversation happened and all the news footage was filmed right there from that road. This is absolutely crazy. I'll be able to line up the shot here a little bit better if I walk down the driveway. This is absolutely crazy to be standing in this spot right now. And this is it. This is where the footage, and this is where it happened. I always say when I visit places like this, it's just the craziest thing. You don't know until you get there, and it's like something so crazy and tragic happened here. And when you're standing in that position, absolutely nuts.
We got him out of the car and cuffed him. I started hearing a beat. His eyes just got real wide.
After the tragedy that happened behind me, the police had nothing. It was a kind of cut and dry. The case went cold. They had no clue how crazy it would become. Right here. This is where it all culminated on August 28th, 2003. Absolutely insane. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, this case inspired movies. It was really just such a confusing and absolutely masterminded case that confused the FBI for so long. And as I said, it all happened right here.
Please, what's your emergency?
There's a woman that you might want to question.
He's the one that did it.
And he's co-conspirators.
Who put this in motion?
I did nothing.
Who actually said, hey, let's rob a bank?
She laughed about it. She says, I got away with it.
Was Wells a victim or participant?
Right now, I'm in Wintergreen Gorge Cemetery. I always do this in the wintertime. I always try to find graves when there's snow on the ground, but I prevailed again. Check this out, guys. This is where Brian Wells was buried. It's actually quite a beautiful cemetery, especially in the wintertime when the snow sticks on the branches like this. But I feel that to bring closure to the entire story and to bring closure to this little trip up here and this journey into, you know, true crime and locations and things like that, you know, I want to be respectful and, you know, is that bring closure to this and where Brian is buried. So this is where we are.